Well, I think a recession is inevitable at some point. As to whether there is a recession in the near term, I think that is more likely than not. It certainly isn't. It's not a certainty, but it appears more likely than not.
Change is happening, and you can fear it, but you're not going to stop it.
So I believe a market crash and a recession is around the corner, and I think it's going to be worse than what a lot of people think is going to be. And I don't think 90% of America is ready for it, let alone the world is ready for it.
We have computers with algorithms trading against other computers. We got people who know nothing about stocks being advised by stockbrokers who know even less. Yeah, it's just an incredible, crazy situation. And it's weird that we ever got a system where all this equivalent of casino activity is all mixed up with a lot of legitimate long-term investment. I don't think any wise country would have wanted this outcome. Why would you want your country's stocks to trade on a casino basis to people who are just like the people who play craps and roulette in the casino? I think it's crazy, but it happened.
A lot of the references you make here goes to 30s and referencing how, the top 1% in the 30s versus today, you show this, that the top 1% in the 30s versus today, top 1% income share has the same amount as the bottom 90%. And the last time it was like that in the 30s. Are you kind of suggesting that we may be facing what happened in the 30s years old, or no?
Yes, I'm saying
okay, so that is where
I'm saying there are three major divisions, okay? Three major forces. And that force, which I think I emphasize the opportunity gap, not just the wealth gap, but they both matter. If you look at history, across countries, across time frames, and you say when there's a large income and wealth gap and you have an economic downturn, you have a dangerous fight on your hands. You have a dangerous set of circumstances. History has taught us that.
You're counting on the government to take care of you? I mean, wake up.
There's no doubt about it. The market crash of 2022 is well on its way. Doom and gloom seems to be the only way to handle this situation, but fear not. Some of the best and brightest entrepreneurs, investors, and business owners have some advice that can help you and your business stay afloat in this time of crisis. Lesson 1. Make sure to invest in assets that are not cash.
So let me ask you, the average person's watching this right now saying, okay, Robert, I'm not like you. I don't run a company. I don't have a brand. I haven't sold 41 million copies. I don't have oil. I don't have rental properties. What can I do? I'm in a time like this. You're telling me the market's going to go in shambles here pretty soon because of currency, and we printed $500 billion of money in September just in 1 month, not including the $3 trillion we printed in the last 7 years prior to that. What do I do to be prepared for a time like this?
Well, first of all, everybody can do something, but they won't. And that's the problem. The reason, who stole my pension, there was plenty of money in it, but nobody did anything. They just stole it. People did nothing. It's like I said, when the crash came in 2008, not one of those guys went to jail. They got paid bonuses. So there's something rotten inside America. And I think the problem with many Americans is they're complacent. They expect, well, it'll heal itself again. So the thing that everybody can do is, as I covered in Fake, my first investment was a gold coin in Hong Kong. I bought a Krugerrand. I was flying off an aircraft carrier in Vietnam. And I went to Hong Kong and I bought a gold Krugerrand. The date was 1972. The reason the date's important is because in 1972 it was illegal for Americans to own gold. So I had to smuggle that little puppy into America. I put it in my pocket, came off the ship, and nobody checked, But I felt like a criminal as I smuggled this gold coin because it was illegal for Americans to own gold after 1933 under Roosevelt. But that gold coin today is worth almost $2,000.
The one gold coin?
Yeah, and I still have it. So
what'd you pay for it?
$50.
$50 to $2,000. 1972?
Yeah, it just sat there. So I have and so I never, because I understand money, that quantitative counterfeiting and 0 interest rates. I don't trust the dollar. So for most of my life, I've saved gold and silver, and not ETFs. I stay completely out of, I know that's your world, but my world is completely into the hard assets. So I have millions in gold coins and silver coins. I just kept saving it because I don't trust the dollar. So everybody can buy a silver coin today for $20. A silver eagle is $20. But how many people will go to a coin shop and buy it? Probably none. Less than 0.1% of Americans own precious metals.
Lesson 2. Starting a business in a crash is not as risky as you may think.
So GE got started in 1908. This is what happens during market crashes and recessions. They got started during a recession. HP, Hewlett-Packard, during World War II, recession. Hyatt, recession. Microsoft, recession. Uber, Airbnb, a lot of these companies slack, again, recession. So as scary as it may be, some of you that are watching this, you're taking notes and you're getting excited, not in a negative way, but in a positive way, to say, okay, I want to go and make this my season for my family. I want to go light it up. Perfect. This is your season. This is your time to go out there and capitalize with what's going on. So why are recessions a good time to start a business? Less competition, all-in mentality, access to talent. Talent is priced as a real market value, better rates, rent, vendors, etc. And by the way, this is just you and I talking. Nobody else is around. It's just me and you right here talking. Tell me you've worked very hard the last 2.5 years. The last 2 years have not been the hardest working years of American workers. We've not worked that hard. Many have worked from home. Many of you, like a couple seasons, you stayed home and you got stimulus. Some of you that were working because you saw an opportunity. But the last 2 years, America got lazier, okay? And because employers were afraid to impose and challenge too much because they were losing people, anytime that happens, like, oh my God, don't push him too hard. He wants to take Friday off, let him take Friday off. He wants to take the week off and want to do PTO and he doesn't want to do PTO, still wants to work from home on his vacation. Let him do it, let him do it, let him do it. Yeah, the standards and the fears of the leaders has caused people to be lazy the last 2 years. But guess what? The next 2 years, leaders are going to have backbone because market's going to be on their side, okay? So you're going to see the next 2 years, the workers are going to win. But if you don't work the next 2 years, you're going to be exposed the next 2 years. Maybe you got away with it the last 2 years. You can't get away with it the next 2 years. Everyone in the marketplace is going to have their camera on you. All eyes on you. So meaning if you do it right, they're going to say, salute, you're a winner. If you don't do it right, they're going to say, well, listen, we got to kind of let you go and move on. It's not a message people want to hear, but it's just a reality.
Lesson 3. Make investments that help you out in the long term.
There's a lot of wretched excess out there and that there's a lot of trouble coming as a result. Do you agree with that?
There's always trouble coming. Yeah, there was trouble coming in 1942 when I bought that first stock, all kinds of trouble. The Philippines were going to fall pretty soon. There's all kinds of trouble in 1949. There was trouble, certainly trouble in 2008 when I wrote an article for the New York Times. I said trouble is coming, but I said buy stocks.
Would you repeat that this time? If trouble's coming, would you still say buy stocks right now?
I would say buy stocks if you get enough for your money. And, we buy a few stocks, but we don't look at, we're not buying the stock market. We're saying, I am buying, let's say American Express, we own American Express. There's 815 million shares out and sells it. This morning's 126 or something like that. So it's selling for roughly $100 billion. Now the real question is whether the company's worth more or less than $100 billion. It isn't what the stock is going to do tomorrow or next week or next month.
If you worry, you don't have to worry. And if you don't worry, you need to worry. Because the thing that I could give you is this worry about realistic things that you can worry about. That's what I want to give the people. Because if you worry, then you'll do something to prevent those worries. If you worry about going to World War II, if you worry about those. And if we could get enough people who believe in these things, then we will have a different choice, right? There'll be less likelihood of us fighting with each other and doing each other harm, and instead doing more good things that'll raise ourselves and raise our living standards because we have the resources to be doing those things. So, the greatest danger for most people is failing to look at the things that could be harmful to them. because they don't like to look at them. It's like some people would rather not know that they have a serious disease or something. Yeah, okay, look at it, deal with it, and then you're most likely to be able to deal with it effectively and minimize problems or take advantage of opportunities. There's a lot of potential here for us to do amazing things, technologies, the ability to think. I mean, we've seen amazingly wonderful things. The capacity for, you have a pandemic and we come up with vaccines, the capacity to get around the fact that we can't get out of our houses. All of that could all raise living standards if we could all work well together.
As Ray Dalio puts it, the biggest thing to do during this period is research and do what you can to make sure that you and your loved ones get through these bumpy times safely and without fear. Thank you for watching, and make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to see more videos.